All right, elite field operators. My name is Crixus. I know it's been a while. We're going to go over today a simple repair that you guys can do at home. The symptoms of this repair are real simple. It is your tagger is losing and gaining sound. Normally when you jostle or shake it, or it just has no sound altogether. We're going to go over all that today. So first and foremost, I recommend you watch this video first, and then if you need to, follow along. So we have tools you're going to need for this. First and foremost, you're going to need your 3/16 inch Allen wrench, and then you're going to need your 7/64 inch Allen wrench. You're going to need a small flathead screwdriver. Of course, you're going to need your tagger keys. And then for advanced repairs, you're going to need a drill with a 1/8 inch bit on it. I recommend getting a metal bit, a bit that is rated for metal. Do not get a wood bit. Try to get a metal bit. And then the last thing you're going to need is preferably some kind of a catch tray. You guys have seen me use these in the past. These are great. These are just service trays you can get anywhere. And they work really great for doing repairs and keeping all your stuff together. So let's get started. So we're going to take our tray. We're going to get our tagger, and we're going to open up the tagger. We're going to use the 3/16 inch on the large screw heads. We're going to use the 7/64 on the small screw heads, only taking out the body screws. Okay, so before we open this up, we're going to ensure that our device is off. Never ever open up this tagger with the device on. We're going to flip it over using our catch tray to catch all those nuts and bolts. Make sure all of our nuts and bolts are out. And they are. We're going to move our catch tray to the side. And then we're just going to go ahead and open it up just like this. Now, I'm going to see if I can zoom in here, but so your speaker is right here. Right here is your speaker. This red and black wire. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the speaker right here is connected to the wire, and we got a good firm connection. We're going to check the wire. We're going to follow it and check it for any breaks or squishes. If we don't see any, we're just going to keep on moving. I'm going to unplug the speaker from the board right here. Now, when you do, you're going to give it, right here on this little header, you're just going to give it a little tug, preferably each wire individually. And I'm going to show you, he doesn't have this customer doesn't have this issue, but we're going to create it just for your guys' edification. There we go. If you see the pin head here come out, just like this, what you're going to do is you're just going to take your fingers and stretch it out a little bit, just like that. I don't know, might be hard for you guys to see. And then we're going to push it back into the housing. And listen, there'll be an audible click. Actually, I want you guys to hear this. Hear that? All right. So there's an audible click. When you hear that click, that means that your housing is firmly and snugly in place. Another thing you can do is gently remove your daughter boards right here and lift those up so that you can get better access to these pins. All you're going to do is take your flathead screwdriver and very, very gently bend one pin up, it doesn't matter which one, and bend one pin down, just like that. As you can see, basically what you're doing, if you were to look directly to the side of it, is you're just doing this with the pins. That's all you're doing. So when you go to plug it in, you're going to have to like kind of finagle it a little bit, but it'll give it a much more solid connection, just like that. and then we plug it back in and we turn it on. Now, we'll say that you turn it on and you're still not getting any sound, right? So you're turning it on, you're still not getting any sound. You can see the tagger functioning as normal, but no sound. What you're going to do is order from us a replacement speaker. You're going to unplug this, the speaker that's attached to the tagger, and you're going to plug this speaker in and see if it makes any sound. If that doesn't happen, and by the way, you can get these from the repair kits that we sell on our website, www.elitelasertag.com/shop. You can buy repair kits, you can buy individual a la carte parts, all that stuff. But you're going to take your a spare speaker, plug it in, and see if you get sound. If you don't get sound, immediately put it back together, send it back to us. If it does make sound, you need to replace the speaker. The speaker's gone bad. Now, these speakers shouldn't go bad. They're pretty bulletproof. But, electronic things fail. It happens, unfortunately. So if it does fail on you, what we need, or if either of these cables come disconnected, I would highly recommend not trying to solder it back on yourself. Either send it to us for repair or replace it. All right. And I'm going to demonstrate how to replace it. It's a little more in depth, but we're going to go ahead and do that on a different tagger here shortly. When you're all done with any repair work you do, we're just going to go ahead and close this guy up. So we're going to gently clamshell it up. We're going to check all of our seams and make sure that we don't have any wires poking out. We're going to grab our catch tray that has all of our hardware. Starting with this guy first. We're going to start putting all of our hardware back in. And the order isn't really that important, but if you do this order, 99.9% of the time, your tagger is going to be flush and you won't have any issues. We're going to take our nuts on the handle and put it there. Using our hand, we're going to hold all three of these nuts in as we flip it over. Put all of our bolts in. Again, we recommend that you guys use hand tools with the stainless steel hardware. It'd be a nightmare if you don't. We're going to make sure it's snug. Once everything's snug, we'll move to the back. Again, using our fingers to hold the nuts in place. Make sure it's snug. Same as the first. Put the small nuts in the small holes. Take the long screws. Put them closest to the screen. Using our Allen key. Go ahead and tighten these down. The ones all the way at the end are a little trickier. You're going to do them one at a time. You're just going to put it in. Take your Allen key, put the bolt on the edge of it, and just like this, and gently turn it, and it'll work its way in. And yeah, I make it look easy, but sometimes these things can be a nightmare. Okay. That's that. All right. So, this customer has a crack in his tagger shell. So we're going to go ahead and use this to show you guys how to remove his speaker because we're doing a reshell today. So we're going to go ahead and remove his speaker. So we'll say that you went through all the troubleshooting and you decided that yes, it is a speaker. I need to complete the speaker. You have or I need to completely replace the speaker. You have two options. You can send the tagger to us. We'll do the work for you. Obviously, depending on your warranty status, there may or may not be a charge. Or if you have a spare speaker with your repair kit, you can go ahead and try. You can do this yourself. Now, the only thing I'm not going to show you guys how to do is the riveting, because I don't have a hand riveter here with me in my shop today. I'm working from home. I'm not working from the shop. So I don't have my hand riveter here. I only have my air compressor riveter. But you can buy a hand riveter, and they're very simple. You just put the rivet in and start pulling the trigger until it pops. It's real simple. And the instructions on the riveter that you're using will be on the back of those. Now, if you bought a repair kit, we provided rivets for you so that if you need to replace a screen, you can. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and get this guy apart. Tilting the tray like that will bring all the hardware down to the bottom for me. Makes it easier for me to work on this guy. Yeah, he has an older setup. So what we're going to need to do is separate the speaker from the rest of the tagger. So we're going to unplug the speaker. And again, the tagger is off when we're doing any work onto this tagger. We're going to unhook the speaker. We're going to unhook our Cobicon over here. It should be plugged into a daughter board. We're just going to plug that. If it is underneath the board, you're going to need to take this, if it's a longer Cobicon, you're going to need to take your 7/64 right here, and either here or here, and here and here, and actually lift the board. If it's over the top, you can just unplug it like this. We're going to unplug we're going to pull on the buttons, and we're going to unplug the buttons. Luckily, his just kind of popped out, so there was an issue there anyway. But to remove the buttons, you're going to take your flathead screwdriver and gently push on the slots for the trigger switch. As you do, you're going to pull on the wire. So I will show you, I'll plug it right back in. But all we're going to do is gently, and I'm using this flat bit on the video cable here. And I'm just going to put light pressure on it and pull on the red cable at the same time, and it just comes right out. And again, when we go to reassemble it later, as you saw earlier in the video, we're just going to push those wires back in. Now, this is completely removed, all right? So, now that we have it completely removed, we're going to flip it face side down. This is where it can get a little weird. So, we are messing with a drill. I've already got my face protection on. Make sure you're always wearing face protection when you play with power tools. Blah, 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 safety first. All we're going to do is, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but there's a rivet hole. I'm just going to take the drill and go as straight as I can right into that rivet hole until the head comes off. And I'm going to go real slow. I'm going to be real intentional with it. Preferably not in hammer mode. There we go. Just like that. Couldn't have worked better. So all we're really doing is wallowing out the drill head enough so that the pin pops out of the speaker. Just like that. We're going to do that for all four. Just light pressure, light downward pressure. Just like that. All right. And the speaker will be loose. And we're just going to feed it. It goes underneath the trigger, underneath the trigger switch, and out those pikes there. And that is our bad speaker. So if we were going to replace the speaker in this unit, we would literally just feed the speaker wire underneath the trigger. Then we would feed it underneath the trigger switch, just like that. We'd put it here, and then we'd insert our rivets on this side using our riveting device and pop those rivets. Again, you can get riveting devices. Like I said, I apologize. I don't have a hand riveter here to demonstrate. That's what we recommend you guys use if you don't already have an air compressed one or another option. You know what? I lied to you just a little bit. I forgot I have an alternative. Give me 1 second. So as we're already reshelling this customer's equipment, we're just going to go ahead and put this into a new shell. All right, so as we are reshelling this anyway, so normally there would be a trigger here and a trigger switch here, and the cable would go underneath the trigger over the underneath the trigger switch, just like that. If you are good, you can put it actually between these two pikes, these two posts here, and then go north. That's what we're doing since we're building a new one, basically. This is a nifty little device. I forget how much it costs. I got it a little while ago on Amazon, and it is literally a riveting device that attaches to your drill, and it's great for just a few rivets. If you're doing hundreds of rivets, I don't recommend it. But it just hooks into your riveting device, or hooks into your power drill and gives you a riveting device. So what we're going to do is, these are our rivets. These are the ones we provided you guys right here. And we're just going to take it, put it through a hole, make sure that it goes through the speaker. I don't know if you can see it right there. Through the shell, through the speaker. And it gets a little tricky here. So we hear a pop. There we go. And our rivet has been successful. Okay. We're going to do it 3 more times, or, we're going to do it 1 more time, and then I can actually kind of show you what's up. It's really hard to do with 2 hands because you have to hold the speaker in place, and I have to take 2 fingers and hold the riveting device and pull the trigger. So we're going to listen to pop. There it is. All right. Now, after you do it like this, if your speaker is still a little loose, you're just going to take a pair of pliers, and you're going to grab this end of the rivet right here, just like that, and basically squish it on both of these. And what that'll do, you see, there's no more rattle. That'll keep it from rattling around. All right, so now that we've got that in place like that, all we'll do is we'll put our other 2 rivets real quick, and then we are done with this installation. Okay, so if we've installed this correctly, which we have, I can hold the wire so I don't hear it banging around, shake the wire, there's no rattle, everything's secure, I can see all my rivets have come through, and I have no rivet ends sticking up. Now, if a rivet end is sticking up here, you're basically going to take a small punch. I would highly recommend using, if you don't have a punch, take one of your Allen wrenches and basically put it on the sharp jagged edge, and you're just going to use a small hammer, or if you don't have a small hammer, a wrench or something, just something with some weight to it, and pop that guy down so it's flush. You don't want your customers running across something jagged and hurting themselves. So we're going to check that, and there you go. We're all installed.